Hello everyone, welcome to Kumari's Kids channel. There's another story of Mowgli, the Jungle Book story. Okay, let's get started. Many strange legends are told these jungles in India, but none so strange as the story of a small boy named Mowgli. It all began when the silence of the jungle was broken by an unfamiliar sound. Bagri Bagri the panther stopped to look around. He found a broken boat by the river and a basket containing a man cub. The baby smiled up at Bahiri. It needs a mother, thought the panther. The man village is too far away, but I know a wolf family with cubs. And so he carried the basket to the wolf den. The mother wolf came out and saw the man cub. How helpless he was! She carried him inside and snuggled him close to other cubs. And so Mowgli grew up with the wolf family, playing with his cub brothers and sisters, and loved by his wolf mother and his wolf father Rama. The wolf pack accepted Mowgli as one of their own, watching over him along with all the other cubs. Throughout the years, Bagri often dropped by to see how the man cub was doing. One night, the wolves of the pack met a council rock. They had heard that Shere Khan, the great tawny tiger, was in their part of the jungle. For many years, he had been away hunting cattle near the man village. Shere Khan had learned of the man cub and had sworn to kill the youngsters. You see, Shere Khan had grown to hate all the men for their fire and guns, helped them best tiger. Shere Khan will surely kill the boy and all who tried to protect him. Warned Akela, the leader of the wolf. The leader of the wolf pack, the man cub can no longer stay with the pack. But objected Rama, he is like my own son. Surely he is entitled to the protection of the pack. At that moment, Bahiri came up to the council rock. Perhaps I can be of help, he said. I know a man village where he will be safe. Mowgli and I have taken many walks into the jungle together. So I'm sure he'll go with me. So be it, Akela replied. Now there's no time to lose. Good luck. The next day, Bahiri took Mowgli for a walk. After a while, Mowgli said, Bahira, I'm getting a little sleepy. Shouldn't we start back home? Mowgli, this time we are not going back, Bagheera replied. I'm taking you to a man village. But why? Asked Mowgli. Because Shere Khan has returned to this part of the jungle and he has sworn to kill you. Bagheera explained, but I don't want to go back to the man village, protested Mowgli. As night was closing in, Bagheera was pushing Mowgli up a tall tree to sleep. Go on, up you go. Mowgli grabbed hold of the panther's fur. Soon they were safe on a big branch. Now get some sleep, yawned Bagheera. Mowgli sighed and leaned against the tree trunk. Shh, shh, say now, what have we here? Said a voice above his head. It's a man cub. A big greenery brown snake slid down the trunk. It was Kaa the python. Sleep, little man cub, ished Kaa, waving his head. Mowgli stared sleepily at the python. Sleep, sleep, whispered Kaa, winding his tail around Mowgli's body. Tighter and tighter. Ah, Bagheera croaked. Mowgli, the python hissed loudly. Kaa shouted, Bagheera, sitting up with a jerk. With one blow of his great paw, he hit Kaa on the head. The python's tail unwound and Kaa crashed to the ground. Oh, he muttered as he slid away. This is going to slow down my slithering. Mowgli and Bagheera were sound asleep. The next morning, when the jungle was shaken by the pounding of huge feet, Hathi's dawn patrol groaned. The panther. Mowgli looked down and saw a line of elephants marching by. Up, 2, 3, 4, bellowed the bull elephant in the lead. A parade, cried Mowgli, swinging down from the tree on a long vine. He began to march at the end of the line behind a baby elephant. Hello, what are we doing? Mowgli asked. Can I do it too? Mowgli asked. Sure, replied the baby elephant. Just do what I do, but don't talk in the ranks. It's against the regulation. Mowgli began marching on all fours, but when the Colonel Hathi ordered, and about turn, Mowgli found himself nose to nose with the baby elephant. Company halt. cried Hetty. Inspection. He marched down the line. Keep those heels together. Shall we, son? He said to the little elephant. Well, a new recruit, he asked, tapping Mowgli's nose. I say, what happened to your trunk? Hey, stop that, cried Mowgli. Ah, a man cub, roared Hetty. I have no man cub in my village. By this time, Bagheera had caught up with Mowgli. The man cub is with me. I'm taking him back to Man Village. Hetty snorted. Forward march, he cried to the elephants. Now let's get out of here quick, said Bagheera, before anything else happens. I'm staying right here, said Mowgli, sitting down in the middle of the jungle path. After a tussle, Bagheera fell into the water. That does it. I had it, man cub, scolded Bagheera. From now on you are on your own. And he walked off. Don't worry. Don't worry about me, said Mowgli. Then he sat alone in the jungle until Baloo, the happy-go-lucky bear, approached. Hey kid, you need help? Said Baloo. When Mowgli told him his story and all, Baloo, he's gonna learn you to fight like a bear. And so Baloo started to teach Mowgli everything he knew, including how to bend a tree to get the best bananas. Baloo showed Mowgli how to fight and growl. When Bagheera heard the growling noise, he ran back to see if Mowgli was in danger. He was not very happy to find Baloo with Mowgli. Bagheera tried to explain to Baloo that Mowgli must return to the man village. Oh, Baloo, I want to stay here with you, protested Mowgli. And just how do you think you'll survive? Asked Bagheera. I'll learn him all I know, promised Baloo. I give up, sighed Bagheera, walking away. Soon Baloo was floating down the river with Mowgli on his tummy. High above the river, several pairs of mischievous eyes watched the man cub. The orangutans hung down by their tails and grabbed Mowgli. Hey, let go of me, yelled Mowgli. But it was too late. The orangutans screeched as they leaped the treetops. They raced on, tossing Mowgli back and forth and leaving Baloo far behind. Bagheera roared. Baloo, what happened to Mowgli? Asked Bagheera, running over to Baloo. Them mangy monkeys carried him off. Baloo replied. Immediately the two set off to find their boy. Meanwhile, poor Mowgli was very dizzy when the orangutans finally dropped him beside King Louis' throne in the ruined city. Word has grabbed my royal ear. Have a banana that you want to stay in the jungle. Stay in the jungle? I sure do, replied Mowgli. King Louis would let Mowgli stay in the jungle if he told the king the secret of the red flower. Have we got a deal? He asked. Yes, sir, I'll do anything to stay in the jungle. Of course, Mowgli didn't know the secret of the red flower, which was the jungle name for man's fire. Luckily, King Louis didn't bother to ask just then. He was so pleased with himself that he started to dance. The other orangutans and Mowgli joined in, singing and giving in the ancient courtyard. Baloo and Bagheera watched the dancing from the shadows. Fire, so that's what the scoundrels after, said Bagheera. These will take brains, not brawn. Now, while you create disturbance, I'll rescue Mowgli. Got that? Asked Bagheera. Soon a big new orangutan was dancing beside the king. It was Baloo, wearing the grass skirt and 2 pieces of coconut to hide his nose. King Louis was delighted to see the big orangutan. The 2 of them jigged and jumped together as they sang, paying no attention to anything. How long this would have gone on, nobody knows. But suddenly, what with all the shimming and shaking, Baloo's disguise began to fall off. First the coconut halves, then the skirt, but he was enjoying himself so much that he didn't notice. The king stopped smiling and shook his fist. The other orangutan stopped dancing. The orangutan stopped dancing too. It's Baloo, the bear. They screeched. Yay, that's him, screeched another. How he'd get in there? Baloo, it's you, gasped Mowgli. Just as Baloo noticed that he was the only one still dancing, the orangutans grabbed Mowgli. Bagheera leaped into the courtyard, but he couldn't get near. He couldn't get near the boy. The orangutans tossed Mowgli back and forth like a football, chattering and laughing the whole time. Baloo watched and waited, and when the orangutans threw Mowgli to the king, he grabbed one arm while the king grabbed the other. Grrr, roared Baloo, pulling as hard as he could. King Louis pulled just as hard, hanging onto a pillar for support. Mowgli was certain he was being pulled in half. Luckily, just at that moment, the pillar collapsed, and the old stone roof fell in, allowing Mowgli and his friends to escape. "Man, that's what I call a swinging party," said Baloo as they ran away. Mowgli, Baloo, and Bagheera kept running deep into the jungle. By the time they stopped, it was night. Mowgli nestled down on some grass and slept. Baloo said, "Bagheera, the man cub must go back to the man village. The, the jungle is not the place for him." Baloo yawned. "Oh, stop worrying, Baggy. Sooner or later Mowgli will meet Shere Khan," warned Bagheera. "Think what's best for Mowgli and not yourself," Bagheera urged. Baloo sadly shook Mowgli awake. "Mowgli, Mowgli, it's time to get up." After bidding goodbye to Bagheera, Mowgli and Baloo made their way through the jungle. "Look, Mowgli," Baloo said at last, "I got to take you back to the man village. You are just like old Bagheera," Mowgli cried as he ran off alone into the jungle. Baloo could find no trace of Mowgli. Soon Bagheera joined him. When he found out what happened, the panther said, "Let's separate. We have got to find him." Bagheera came upon the elephants. He asked Colonel Hathi for help in finding the man cub. The colonel finally agreed. Little did Bagheera know that Shere Khan was hiding in the tall grass, listening to every word. "How interesting," he muttered quietly to himself. Not far away, Mowgli was walking through the jungle. Suddenly he was whisked by into a tree by K. But Mowgli managed to get away from K and stomped off into the jungle. On the edge of the jungle, 4 vultures sitting in a dead tree spotted Mowgli sitting alone crying. The vultures flapped their big untidy wings and landed in front of Mowgli. He got legs like a stork. "He has cackled one." "Oh, go ahead, laugh," said Mowgli. "I don't care." "Poor little fella," said one vulture. "Must be down on his luck," said another. "You know, you look like you haven't a friend in the world." "I haven't," sighed Mowgli. "Kid, we'd like to make you an honorary vulture," offered the vultures. Shere Khan was creeping through the grass and heard the conversation. He lifted up his head and saw Mowgli with the vultures. "Thank you for detaining my victim," the tiger said to the birds. The vultures were as scared of Shere Khan as the other jungle animals. "Let's get out of here," they squawked, flying up into the air with a loud flapping of wings. The storm that was brewing finally broke, and the birds huddled on top of their tree. Run, friend, run, they shouted at Mowgli. Run, why should I? Asked Mowgli, walking boldly to Shrikant. Why should you run? Growled the tiger. Could it be possible that you don't know who I am? You don't scare me. I won't run from anywhere, said Mowgli. Too late, the vultures had saved the man cub. But Baloo and Sri Khan continued to struggle. Lightning flashed, setting fire to the vulture's tree. Mowgli quickly grabbed a burning branch and tied it to Sri Khan's tail. The one thing Sri Khan feared was fire, and he fled, howling with rage. Mowgli hurried over to Baloo. Baloo, Baloo, get up! Oh, please, get up! He pleaded. Just then Bagheera appeared. You've got to be brave like Baloo was, said Bagheera. You don't mean, oh no, cried Mowgli. Baloo. Bagheera said, it is best we leave now. Come on, come along, man cub. Baloo opened one eye. Hey, he said. Baloo yelled. Baloo yelled. Mowgli, giving him a big hug. Hey, Beggy, Baloo said to Bagheera. Too bad you missed the action. You should have seen how I made a sucker out of old strips. With that, laptop in his face. The three friends were walking along a path in the jungle. Look, what's that? Asked Mowgli, suddenly pointing ahead. Oh, it's Man Village, said Bagheera. Oh no, I meant that, said Mowgli, pointing to a pretty girl who had come close to a stream. To fill her jug. I've never seen one before. He moved closer. Mowgli, wait a minute, called Baloo. Ah, Baloo, let me have a better look, said Bagheera. Mowgli climbed onto a branch over the stream. The girl saw his reflection. She looked up and smiled. Mowgli was so amazed that he fell into the water. The girl giggled and dropped her jug. Mowgli scrambled ashore, grabbed the jug, and followed her up the path. At the village gate, he turned and gave his friends a goodbye grin. Bagheera sighed happily. Mowgli is where he belongs now. Okay, this is the end of the story, jungle story. I will see you guys in the next storytelling.